Hey, want to skip those ads and get early access and bonus episodes of all Banana for Scale shows? Hop on over to truestory.fm/join and discover all the cool perks that come with being a member of the Banana for Scale family. Coming up on The Devil's Details, Babylon. And on and on and on. Revelation chapter 17. Good morning, Star, and welcome to another episode of The Devil's Details, a show where we dig up, decipher, dissect, and deconstruct the many forms of the devil. One of my names is Little Whore. Waited until this episode.
Very good.
Held it like a birthday secret.
Yeah, and I sometimes go by the mother of harlots.
And we are just two lost souls hitchhiking down the highway to hell.
On top of the great beast.
So where are you going, sailor? You going our direction? No.
Yep. So I guess, fair warning, we're talking about the whore of Babylon, and that's what she's called. And I don't think it works the same if we were to translate it into the PC, the sex worker of Babylon.
Yeah. And we're going to find out.
It's the Bible.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're going to find out, like, it's not even referring to a person. So,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, folks, welcome back. We are deep into Revelation now. We're on chapter 17. And if you've been with us the whole time, we have been peeling this thing back layer after layer, and it just keeps getting stranger and crazier, and every single chapter I'm like, okay, well that's the weirdest thing that is ever going to happen, and it'll be downhill from there. But every single time I'm wrong, because now we have a whore of Babylon.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough teasing. Unless you like that. No, let's jump right into the chapter. So here it is, Revelation chapter 17. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, so...
Yeah, reigneth over me, mama.
Yeah. Once again, I am unfamiliar with this chapter. How about you, Keenan?
I'm unfamiliar with it. When we were getting ready to do this show, and I read this, this is, again, where I was like, why do they say there's only 2 beasts? Here clearly is another beast here. But it's the same one, I guess. Why do they introduce him like it's a new beast?
I know. Yes. No. You are absolutely right. Because like behold, 7 heads and 10 horns. It's like,
oh God, oh, we've never seen this before.
And then the angel literally said, "You have seen this before."
And we say it like that then. Yes, I did remember this one, but in the context of me being very angry with it.
Yes. This beast was and is not, and yet is. Okay, so like sitting and trying to decipher this, this is one of those chapters, just the language itself. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the English translation, but it is so twisty-turny. Yep. So it's like it is purposely made to confuse you.
Yeah, I've been reading, again, on studylight.org, I've been reading their version of the King James Bible, which is standard, but then also literal translations and easy-to-read versions for this book. And yeah, it still is as twisty and weird and hard to understand sometimes. So
even in the chapter where the angel is literally like stopping the narration and being like, let me tell you what this symbol means. Like this is this, like there is no actual like beast or dragon. It's these things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it actually muddies the waters a little bit more. And the waters are people, apparently. So there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess thank goodness for this angel, but still, he could be a little less cryptic, just a bit. But who are we? Like beggars can't be choosers when it's the end times, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah. But as we know, folks, right? That is the popular interpretation that this is foretelling the end times, that this will all happen later, right? But we know, as we've been going through this thing, this is basically John talking about the pattern that always happens when empire kind of overbloats and gets too strong. But yeah, so before we research this thing, what was our first impression? Who is this whore supposed to be?
Yeah, it feels like she is like a concubine of the beast or something like that, of like a a satanical hanger on or something. So she's like part of the court of the devil, but yeah, is I don't know. Here she's powerful for about 2 chapters, but doesn't seem to be like of the same level as the beast and the red dragon and all that.
Right, but like certainly we're reading her as like a character and not like what she ends up being.
Yeah, she's a lady.
Yep. Yeah.
She got clothes on.
What are you saying, John? What are you saying? But yeah, let's look at the popular interpretation. Like what do most people assume this character is, largely based on the evangelical view. So lots of folks think the Catholic Church. Right, a lot of Protestant interpreters went there. That the 7 mountains are the 7 hills of Rome, which is true. That's what they are. So obviously it's the Vatican. That's the conclusion they come with. And the Pope is the Antichrist, and all that good Reformation era beef that people are still holding on to 500 years later. It's like. That's fueling this thing.
Yes, so that would be John predicting that the Pope would exist because there was no Pope in Nicaea.
Yeah.
That the Vatican would exist. There was no Vatican, etc. So so that would be the view that he's predicting these things.
Yeah, pretty good guess, John. Yeah.
And I did see that in the Schofield Reference Bible, which we talked about as being where in America we first, really codified the rapture and we put it in the Bible, right? In our little footnotes next to them. So similarly, they would say that this is the papacy here. So.
Yeah. Or some people say that she's the European Union because, apparently the EU is super evil and wants to create a one world government.
They all use the same money. That must be the devil.
Yep. Why would you do that? Right? Yeah. Or this character could be some kind of future one world religion that will deceive everyone during the tribulation.
All right.
The beast's religion or the Antichrist religion.
Yeah. They the people who have that belief really think that that's possible. I mean, they live in a world where amongst Christianity, there's all these different sects, and there's not, even though the Catholic Church is over 1 billion people, there's still all these other ones, but they're convinced that, there will be somehow some one religion across all of the world.
The more I think about that bothers me more and more. It so you're saying that if we ever finally all come to agreement and all join hands and all sing the same song, as it were, that's when a portion of us will stand up and say, this is the work of Satan.
Yep.
Got it. So let's never do that, and let's always be arguing and beefing with each other. That's the safest thing.
Yeah, it seems so difficult. I mean, like, I don't know, like, all the major religions have big, branches in them and breaks, and it's hard enough, even amongst, we see, like, in America, like, Buddhists as being so peaceful and ecumenical, but yeah, there are giant divides there, over there, where
Right.
they would not get along. They refuse to, let bygones be bygones, even though, they're Buddhists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We can't even can't even get atheists to agree on stuff.
Right, exactly.
My version of not God is different from your version of not God.
I have made the mistake of referring to a friend as an atheist and saying, because you're an atheist, and he says, I'm an agnostic, and
Well,
he got very upset with me, and I know they are different, but yeah, still.
Yeah, I know that too. What is the difference?
An agnostic leaves room for doubt. They're unsure if there is God.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I mean, that's what I knew. I mean, I was unsure, and that's why I asked you.
That's right. That's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Finally, she could be, this whore of Babylon could be, literally the rebuilt city of Babylon in Iraq, which, fun fact, Saddam Hussein actually did try to rebuild Babylon. So that one did get some traction in the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah.
What's Saddam up to these days?
Yeah. You don't hear from him much. But and this beast, right? Well, that's the Antichrist, obviously, right? The 10 horns, right? Those are the 10 nations or 10 kings who will give their power to the Antichrist in the end times to create this new world order, and they'll persecute Christians, and there'll be a one world currency, probably involving microchips or the mark of the beast, and it's all very scary and very specific and very wrong. Yeah, we've talked about some of this stuff already, but like even. This is the chapter where the angel says, no, the beast is not a beast. But we still have like the popular belief that the beast is a beast.
Yeah, well, they keep calling him a beast. So
I know.
I blame John. Blame John for that.
Stop. I blame the angel. Say empire. Don't say beast. Ah, well,
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor, right? What's a metaphor? Nothing. What's a metaphor? Yeah. Whatever. But, okay, folks, here's the thing. And, we've been saying this like every episode, but I'll say it again, right? John wasn't writing about our future. He was writing about his present. And once you understand that, once you understand the historical context and the coded language he's using, the chapter becomes so much clearer and actually much more relevant. So yeah, let's actually read this chapter the way John's original audience would have read it. And remember, his audience was a bunch of persecuted Christians in the Roman Empire in the late 1st century, probably around 90 to 95 CE, under the reign of the Emperor Domitian, who was not a fan of Christians, to put it mildly. So John starts off, one of the angels says, come here, I'll show you the judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters, right? And right away, we got to talk about this language, right? Whore or harlot in ancient Jewish prophetic literature was always used as a metaphor for a city or a nation that had abandoned God and gone after other gods, or had become corrupted by wealth and power, right? So it's not about sex. It's not about women. Well, I mean, the fact that they're using this metaphor, it is about women,
right?
Because they're comparing the city to how they view women. So
right,
yeah, but ultimately it is about empire, capital E, empire, and it's about corruption and about selling out.
Yeah, I mean, they often in the Hebrew Bible would refer to these great capital cities as women, and usually sex workers of some kind, and they use also different terms for it. Adulteresses, idolatresses, all of that. So, in this chapter, or this book rather, Revelation, we have two women, and they are either, the Mother Mary or the whore of Babylon.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a really common idea. Have you heard about that? Like the Madonna whore complex?
I have heard it. Could you enlighten us on the show?
Yeah. So the idea is it's this like Freudian idea that is to talk about this problem that men have, that men tend to simplify women into either being this virgin, like pure woman, or this dirtied whore, right? And the Madonna whore complex that the Freudians would argue is basically like, oh, I can't see women as real people. The only women that I want are virginal, right? Like young, pure, clean. They've never had sex with anybody else. And then after the man sleeps with her, either, pre-marriage or after marriage, like I can only see her as a whore afterwards. So basically, like my act of sleeping with her has made her dirty in my mind, and I can't see her as she was before because you're incapable of seeing women as rounded people
as
who aren't just defined by whether your penis has been inside of her. Right.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing. So this has other like implications of like we see women as different after they've been de-virginized. There's no like, it's not like some people are arguing like virginity is a social contract. Like there's nothing about someone that's different before or after they have sex for the first time. And certainly with women. So then you kind of invent like physical aspects of it and say like the hymen is broken or whatever, but women can break their hymen in all sorts of places. And sometimes you don't break the woman's hymen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buddy.
And that should not, like that should be like none of your business. Like,
right.
Like whether or not you're the, like, yeah. But yeah, like you were saying, like virginity being a social construct and like different for both men and women.
Right.
Right. Like, if you're a male and you're a virgin and then like you have sex for the first time, like it's received much different than like, if you're a woman and you're a virgin and then you have sex and yeah, like all of that just made up bullshit that we made up.
Right.
All around the world, right? Because cultures all over the place, like have like some set of wacky rules that decide like this is your value before you have sex, and this is your value after, right? For both men and women, it's like just total bullcocky.
Right. Yeah. So it's not about an actual literal woman, but we're using that really gross binary between like, the two. So there's the Mother Mary and the Whore of Babylon.
Right. I'm just thinking like in our Faust season, we were following Gretchen in Goethe's Faust in his part 1, right? And there was that scene where Gretchen's brother, Valentine, yeah, he was like sitting with like all of his buddies and just bragging about how like chaste and pure his sister was,
right?
And they were all just kind of like gushing over like all the ladies of the town. It's like, oh yeah, she's so pure and good, and no, she's so pure and good. And then he pipes up and he's like, well, no one's as like unfucked as my sister.
Right, exactly.
and they all like raise a glass to it's like, yes, to your unfucked sister. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, yeah, I don't know.
But I think that was pretty real back then.
Yeah. And then that got me thinking of Dante. And you remember, like, our second circle of hell was lust.
I remember that.
And of course, which sex does Dante decide to fill that circle with? Right, it's all with women. Yeah, and it's like famous women, mythical women. He's got to fill it with like imaginary women as well, right? But he's got like historical women like Cleopatra, and then like women from what was it that proto Romeo and Juliet, Francesca and Paolo, right?
Yeah,
and it's like what is that saying? That like I think I said it in the Dante season, but it's like, so a man sees a woman and he's like, wow, when I look at you, all I think of is sex. That must mean that you are like horny all the time.
Right.
Like what stupid logic. But that was like male logic for like a big chunk of history. And like saying that women were like secretly underneath just like these like sex hungry, lascivious creatures because that's all you thought of when you looked at them.
Right.
Like, bleh. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, and now we're here, Book of Revelation. And yeah, we're using the word whore for a city that is, I guess, in bed with empire. Right. Yeah. But yeah, like this happens all throughout the Bible. The prophet Isaiah uses this language about Jerusalem. Ezekiel uses it. Nahum uses it about Nineveh. So when John's audience hears the great whore, they're not thinking about a literal woman. They're thinking like, okay, which city is John talking about? Which empire, right?
Yeah, I did see some people today argue that it is about Jerusalem. I think a lot of authors are like, well, there's the 7 hills and that's it. That makes sense to me that's Rome. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess Jerusalem also has 7 hills. That's not very nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like, Vegas has like at least 7 hills surrounding it.
We have a neighborhood called 7 Hills.
Oh, yeah. There we go. See?
We just named it. We were like, this is 7 Hills.
That's where the whore of Babylon lives.
Yeah, the whore of Blue Diamond lives down there.
Yeah.
7 Hills.
7 Hills, 10 casinos. But yeah, okay. So you hear people talking like it's Jerusalem and not Rome.
I think the majority of people say Rome, but there are still some people even today who say it's Jerusalem, and it has to do with like but their argument, as I understand it, is strange because it's also like because essentially Jerusalem has become like Rome.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's more your ultimate argument that it is about empire as a whole.
Yeah, interesting that yeah, it's like because here we're saying it's like we're using Babylon like Rome is the new Babylon, and they're saying Jerusalem is the new Rome.
Jerusalem is the new Rome, is the new Babylon, right?
Orange is the new black. Yeah. But actually, John gives us a huge clue, right? Quote, the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Folks, I mean, do you know what colors the Roman emperors wore, right? They wore purple and scarlet. Do you know what the Roman elite were famous for? Wearing obscene amounts of gold and precious stones and pearls, right? So this is Rome. John is talking about Rome, right?
I agree.
And whether Rome, he's like the new Rome or whatever, right? It could be like, but I think like literal Rome, like Rome in Italy. Yeah,
I think so.
And then he really drives it home. Quote, and upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, right? So Babylon. Now, John's audience would have immediately understood this. Babylon was the empire that destroyed Jerusalem and the temple in 586 BCE. Babylon was the ultimate symbol of oppressive empire, of tyranny, of the enemy of God's people. And by John's time, Babylon had become a code word for Rome. Because guess what Rome did in 70 CE? They destroyed Jerusalem again. And they destroyed the temple again. Right? Temple just
Solomon hadn't finished building it yet.
Exactly. I was just going to say. Right? It's right as he got his blueprints out and he's like, oh, well, there we go. There's a nice place for the temple. Right. But yeah, so when
sorry, right? So the Hebrews were growing up, where the destruction of the temple in 587 was like just part of their whole culture. Like that was such a big thing where the Neo-Babylonians come in and destroyed it. And then now in John's time, we're talking about in people's lifetime it happening again.
Yes.
So there's a great big wound, right? So I think to put those two things together for the readers of the day is like, well, that's just so obvious.
Yes. Yeah. So when John says Babylon, he means Rome, and his audience knows it. This isn't, some future city. This is the city that is persecuting them right now. And actually, we have evidence of this. Other Jewish and Christian writings from this period also use Babylon as a code word for Rome. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 13 says, quote, she who is in Babylon sends you greetings. And scholars are pretty sure that's referring to the church in Rome. It's code. It's a way to talk about Rome without getting immediately arrested and executed for sedition. And folks, this is so important to understand because throughout Revelation, John is writing in code. He has to. If he just came out and said Rome is evil and the emperor is the beast, the empire is going to fall, he'd be killed. His readers would be killed. So he uses this apocalyptic imagery, this wild symbolism, and his audience gets it because they're living it.
That's so interesting when you say it like that because, people online or just in everyday conversation or in text, they'll talk about like Trump, and I'm sure this is true of like, other like Bolsonaro or Putin or Bogdan Marcos or something like. So like you often won't talk about Trump, you'll talk about him.
Yes.
So you're like, did you see what he did today?
Yeah. Oh no. Folks. I mean, like if you're listening to this in the future, if the United States still exists, if you're listening to this in the future, there was a time when all you had to do was make a TikTok of just your face, just being like, I fucking hate him. And everybody knew who you were talking about. Or like Keenan says, like, oh, did you hear what he did today? Right?
Right.
I'm gonna top you, Keenan. A lot of people have been talking about the day it happens. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But like that's all you need to know. Everyone's saying it's like, so, how are you going to celebrate the day it happens? And everybody, like everybody knows exactly what we're talking about without saying it.
But with Trump, so let me make some explicit ones here.
Oh, so we're talking about Trump.
But people say like the orange one, and they mean Trump.
The Cheeto Mussolini is my
Cheeto
favorite.
Mussolini, right? Exactly.
I coined that, folks. That's me. Right. I mean, no, that's not me. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, the small-handed one, things like that. Oh, geez, how else?
Agent Orange.
Yeah. Oh, geez, let me see. Hold on.
Is that what this episode is devolving into?
Well, but this has some point. There's a point to this.
Sure.
Which is that you know, if you wrote it all down, you know, you'd be like, oh, so the ruler of the earth was made of Cheetos, and he had small hands, and he was literally orange. You know, Trump is orangish, but like, you know, I think if you were reading that, you'd be like, he's literally orange.
Right.
He's a bright orange Cheeto man with small hands.
He even has a beast-like number, right? Because people call him 45, or now they call him 47.
Right.
Because they don't want to say the president, because like it feels like you're gargling shit in your mouth.
My boyfriend would get mad at me when I would say that during the first term. I would say,
"Oh, really?
The president?" Yes. I would say, "Today, the president," and then just right, just don't say that.
Just call him 45.
Right. Agent Orange, Cheeto, the Donald, which is something that he liked. He called it. Don the Con, Foetus, like F-A-U-T-U-S, F-A-U-X-T-U-S, like foe.
Okay. Like foe. Okay, yeah.
Like Foetus, yeah. Cadet Bone Spur.
Oh, yeah. I know Bone Spur, yeah.
Tic Tac.
Tic Tac, what's that?
Just that he's just a weird, small looking, like he's made of Tic Tacs, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Little hands.
Little hands, yeah.
Vladdy's boy.
Oh, yeah. And folks, in the future, that's Vladimir Putin we're talking about.
Sweet Potato Hitler. Mango Mussolini.
Oh, yes.
Our
Cheeto.
fondling...
Okay, Mango Mussolini wasn't mine. Mine was Cheeto Mousse, but it rhymes better.
I think you're right. Hey, yours is better. Our fondling father. Don Corleone.
Oh,
Pumpkin Spice Stalin.
Okay.
Kim Jong-un.
Oh, yeah.
Cheeto Benito. The Lion King.
Oh, the lion, like LYIN'.
Yeah, these are pretty good.
Oh, Orange Palpatine. No, it was a Tangerine Palpatine, I think it was.
Oh, I like that. The Shart of the Deal.
Yeah.
His Majesty.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you found these. I was furiously Googling.
The Ayatollah Complainy.
Okay.
Tannibal Lecter.
Tannibal Lecter. Okay, I like it.
The Not So Great Pumpkin. Carrot Bottom.
Right, because that thing with Bubba, right.
The Legend of Bragger Vance.
Okay.
Magatha Christie.
Okay.
And Yelvis. I don't know if I get that one.
Oh. I heard that. Okay. I'm mad that is attributed to him, because that was a very, very funny joke that I heard somebody else do. I think it was Dan Avedon, who we've talked about on this show, the main guy of Ninja Sex Party. But he was just like, he was on what was it? Game Grumps. That was his thing. Like him and another guy, like they play games and they make jokes. But he's like, I have a really great impression. This is Yelvis, and then he just goes, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog." So
excellent.
That's where Yelvis needs to be. I don't want it associated with.
All right. Yeah, I don't get it with Trump, but anyways, my whole point is that we people could have this common language or develop this common language, and people could understand each other, and they wouldn't necessarily see it as like a secret code, really, in their everyday lives. It's kind of
like it's like a very, very obvious wink. Like everybody knows what we're talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like when we say
maybe some censors, like the Greeks, the Roman centurions or something, might not understand what we're talking about. But
sure. Right. But they'll eventually, get it. But then you have like with some of these, you can kind of like get away with like plausible deniability. Like when we just say like when it happens, and everybody knows what we're talking about, but also it could be anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the previous president for a while, for a good 2 years of his presidency, was called Brandon.
Right, like, because the Let's Go Brandon thing.
Yeah, that
right,
was his nickname amongst people. They would talk about Brandon.
Right.
And it's like you sort of have to know what that is. And
Yeah. But I mean, to your point, Keenan, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years from now, like, are we going to have like images of like a giant orange monster with tiny like little hands who, like I don't know, eats children or something like that,
Yeah. And here he is. There's a photo of him floating above the River Thames
Oh,
using
yeah.
a diaper.
And now with AI, like there are literal like pictures of him like dressed like Jesus. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know anymore, folks. I'm feeling like those first century readers. I'm just like I'm throwing up my notes. I'm just like, you know. Yeah. But yeah, Keenan, of all the episodes we've done, I do think this is going to be the one that disappears us. I'm a little...
Just because we mention things that they say in the news.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, okay, bringing it back. So then we get to verse 3, quote, I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, like, you know, Tangerine Palpatine or Cheeto Mussolini or, you know. I mean, that's the other thing I forgot to say. Like, he has as many names as the beast or the devil. I mean, I'm just saying.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So the beast, right? We have met this guy before, right? Back in chapter 13, right?
Have we?
We have. This is the beast.
All right, good.
The beast / the Antichrist, right? And we talked about how the beast is Rome specifically, the Roman Empire, as this like demonic oppressive force. And it's, quote, full of names of blasphemy because Roman emperors claimed to be divine. Right? They put Son of God and Lord and Savior on their coins and their temples, right? That's blasphemy to a Jew or a Christian. That's the ultimate insult to God. So an empire that has a list of emperors that all claim to be God, right? That is a beast with many names of blasphemy, right? Yeah. And then, you know, verse 6, this one always gets me, quote, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. So Rome is drunk on Christian blood. Again, not prophecy. This is memory. This is John looking at what Nero did, what Domitian is doing, the persecutions, the executions, the Christians being thrown to the lions in the Colosseum, being burned alive, being crucified. Rome is literally getting drunk on their blood, celebrating their deaths as entertainment.
And again, like using her like as this woman, the sensual image of her, you know, getting drunk on the blood, not just like drinking the blood and, you know, being sustained by it like the beast would or the dragon would. This is like, oh, she takes pleasure in it, like physical pleasure.
Right. This is
like a woman.
Yeah. Has feelings of enjoyment. How dare she? Right. Yeah. But no, that's a good point, right? It's like all of these things, like this is killing and slaughtering and torturing for fun, right? This isn't like we're not like, oh, we got to defeat, you know, these Christians or these Jews, like you know, in battle or something like that. No, let's crucify them, let's feed them to the lions, let's you know, let's torture them. This is our halftime show at the Super Bowl. Right. And then yeah, right, like if we were still clueless, the angel actually starts explaining the symbolism. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And yeah, folks, I think we mentioned, right? Rome has its famous 7 hills surrounding it, right? Like being built on 7 hills, the 7 hills of Rome, right? So it's not subtle. This isn't like vague prophecy about some future city. John is saying Rome. Like he's pointing directly at Rome and saying this is the beast. This is Babylon.
I did see that there was at least when was this been? In 70 AD, a coin minted with a woman on top of 7 hills being Rome. So it was like a coin about Rome. And then, yeah, Rome had a deity itself. Like, you know, the religion, the Roman religion was very much like a localized religion. Like you could have, the god of thunder or what have you. I'm butchering it, but we could also have the god of this particular building or this street or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a Roma who was the goddess, and so this would not be like atypical, you know, to say like this is the woman. Here she is. And
it could be, I mean, like to what you're saying, Keenan, it could be that John is maybe being even more literal, and he's like referencing like this coin that was like popular at the time, and it was like, you know, kind of like going it was like currently circulating, and people was like, oh, obviously, right?
Yes.
Like if we did like, you know, our symbol of, you know, and we will talk about like, you know, the eagle of oppression or something like that, and it's clutching, you know, what is it clutching? It's like a bunch of arrows.
Little arrows.
Like yeah, I like super easy to get biblical with that. Like just the image of, you know, on the back of our, you know, coins, right? Yeah.
I couldn't find a picture of this coin, but I've just seen it described a couple different places. But it also, I think, has her like taming animals.
Okay.
So then here having her like being part of the beast where she's on top and she thinks that she is in control of this animal, but then it turns out that she's not. Like that also being like the irony of her being an animal tamer, but the animal's really controlling her.
Right. Yeah. And then we got verse 10, quote, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short pace." Okay, so this is where we got to do a little math.
Oh, no.
I know, right? So scholars have debated exactly which emperors John is counting. But if we start with Augustus, the first emperor, we get Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero. That's 5 fallen. Then who's the one who is? That's probably Domitian, the emperor when John is writing. And the one not yet come, who will continue a short space, that could be the next emperor, or it could be a reference to that Nero redivivus myth. Remember the idea that Nero would come back from the dead, right? People were obsessed with this idea. They, multiple like false Neros running around claiming to be him, right?
Yeah, and again, like you could hear that the emperor was dead in Rome, but you would never seen him before, even though you're being controlled by him, but you're hundreds of miles away in a different continent,
Right, and you don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
All you got is this coin, right? You just hold that up to a guy, and it's like, you kind of got the same nose,
Yeah, you're two-dimensional.
Yeah, sure. Honey, I met a guy who was like totally flat. He said he was the emperor of Rome. And actually, okay, verse 11 might be hinting at this, right? Quote, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition." So was and is not, and yet is. Keenan, first we got the math, and then we got these like word riddles.
Yeah. Don't ask me about what that means.
But it's a really strange phrase. But if you think about the Nero, I always stumble on this, the Nero redivivus. No, I always add an extra syllable. The Nero redivivus. Redivivus. Yeah. The Nero redivivus myth. It makes sense. Nero was, right, he ruled, and is not, he's dead, and yet is, right, he's coming back supposedly, right? So this is John tapping into this, this cultural fear and anxiety about Nero and, using it to make his point about the cyclical nature of empire and tyranny, right? It doesn't really matter if Nero comes back because there will be another quote unquote Nero anyway.
Right.
Right. And yeah, folks, this is what I've been trying to say this whole season. John isn't predicting the future. He is describing a pattern. He is saying this is what empire does. This is what Rome is. This is what Babylon was. This is what every oppressive empire will always be. It's not like, oh, this will happen someday. It's this is always happening. This is the nature of empire.
Yeah, you could not convince them, I'm sure, that within a couple hundred years, one of the emperors would be a Christian,
right?
Constantine, and declare it to declare that the empire was going to be Christian.
Yeah. And I love, every time we talk about Constantine, I like it's just so characteristic of this this image of Rome that we've built up, right? Is like, I'm going to violently persecute anybody who is Christian, and now I'm Christian, I'm going to violently persecute anybody who is not Christian, right? It's like classic Rome. Now, and yeah, the 10 horns are 10 kings who have, quote, received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Scholars think this might be referring to client kings or vassal states that Rome controlled, or maybe provincial governors. The point is that they're complicit. They have given their power to the beast. They're propping up the empire. Right? And then verse 16, this is where it gets really interesting. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. The beast's own allies are going to turn on Babylon. They are going to destroy her. And folks, this is John saying that empire always eventually destroys itself. It is unsustainable. Rome is going to fall, not because God is going to supernaturally intervene and smite them with, lightning bolts and blood, right? But because this is what empire does. It collapses under its own weight. The violence, the greed, the oppression, it all comes back around, right? You can't build a civilization on blood and expect it to last forever. And yeah, verse 18, just to make it crystal clear, quote, "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth," right? So what city reigned over the kings of the earth in 95 CE? It was Rome, not some future city, not the European Union.
Brussels.
Rome. Brussels.
Okay, Rome.
So yeah, folks, like that is what chapter 17 is actually about, right? It's not a prediction about the Pope or the Antichrist or microchips or the New World Order. It's John, a persecuted Christian under the Roman Empire, using coded apocalyptic language to tell his community, Rome is evil, Rome is Babylon, Rome is drunk on our blood, but Rome will fall. Empire always falls. Hold on, keep the faith, don't worship the beast, don't give in.
Yeah, this is one of the clearest ones. I think probably the clearest thing we've seen so far in Revelation, where he's like, here's the key to the code. Like, it's like, that woman is the great city.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. Thank you, angel. Oh my gosh. Why weren't you here in chapter 1? There were so many other angels, and there were multiple beasts, and we found out they weren't beasts. They were angels.
We can call them that for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, and folks, right, that brings us to today, right? Because here's the thing about Revelation, right? Here's the thing about John's message. It is timeless. Not because he was predicting our specific future, but because the pattern he's describing keeps repeating. We are living through some really dark times right now. I don't need to tell you that, right? You're watching the news. You're seeing the ICE raids. You're seeing families being torn apart. You're seeing immigrants dying in detention centers, right? You saw what happened to Renee Good. You saw what happened to Alex Preddy, right? And these are just the ones that like we've seen, right? There are many names that we don't yet know. And I know, like I've joked on the show before about, Trump being the Antichrist. And no, I don't actually believe that. I don't think Trump is, the beast from Revelation. I don't think we're living in the end times, but I do think we are living through exactly what John was warning about. We are living through what happens when capital E empire becomes too powerful, when the state demands absolute loyalty, when, quote, law and order becomes an excuse for cruelty, and when people are scapegoated and dehumanized and treated as less than. John saw Rome doing this to Christians. We're seeing it happen to immigrants, to refugees, to people seeking asylum, to people speaking out. And just like in John's time, there are people in power who are drunk on it. They are celebrating the cruelty. They are turning suffering into spectacle. All right. Yeah, that is one thing that is getting harder and harder for me personally to stomach. Keenan is the jokey nature, is the kind of like laughing about it from from the higher ups. Is something that really does make me sick to my stomach. But I mean, it has happened before and it's happening again, and I don't know if that's supposed to give me comfort or hope. But it does give me hope that like, oh, this too shall pass, Yeah. And just like in John's time, right, there are people who are complicit. There are people who are giving their power to the beast, who are propping up this system because it benefits them, or because they're afraid, or because they have convinced themselves that it is necessary. But again, this is where John's message of hope comes in. Empire doesn't last. Babylon falls. Rome fell. Every empire that has ever built itself upon oppression and violence has eventually collapsed under its own weight. Right? It's not sustainable. You cannot build a civilization on cruelty and expect to endure. And in the meantime, while we are waiting for that collapse, while we are living through this darkness, John's message to his community is the same message we need to hear today. Don't worship the beast. Don't give in. Don't let them make you complicit. Hold on to your humanity. Hold on to your faith. Hold on to each other. And being complicit, I'm kind of like learning. I'm learning this about myself. Being complicit doesn't mean like hey, I support ICE raids, or hey, I'm going to give money to these people or whatever. Right? It also can take the form of like normalizing it in your mind and your heart, right? Like, oh, this is just, America. This is what happens. School shootings, ICE raids, this stuff is normal, right? And not being properly outraged by it. This is just my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me, Keenan, but I've said before that if you're not loudly speaking against what's going on today, then you are in some way complicit, because there are people who can't speak out, right? They're afraid to speak out. They don't have the luxury of speaking out because they will be found and they will be taken. And I don't know, it makes me think of, we're talking about the future. We're talking about let's say 100 years from now, when people are reading about this in their history books, right? And they will have so much more data and so much more stuff to work with than our history books, right? We got, some blocks of text and, some black and white photos, right? And we, back in the day, we couldn't look up, the names of those people in those photos. And it was like, oh, I wonder what, they were like, when they weren't getting photos taken of them, right? But today, I mean, I'm seeing a future where they could just look up your social media account and see what you were posting during this time. Right. And they could see it's like, oh, okay, well, this guy was loudly speaking out against the administration and looks like he had a lot of things to say. And this guy is just, posting, funny dog memes, and I'm not saying anything about the guy posting funny dog memes, but I feel like history can't help but remember that guy a certain way, because it's like, oh, all of this stuff was happening around you and you didn't have anything to say. Like, oh, here's a picture of my garden. Oh, here's a picture of, it's like my Wordle of the day, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But
well, there's some people who try to say that politics is that they're not political and they don't want to get involved in politics. I think the argument is that then that essentially means that you are advocating for the status quo, whatever the status quo is.
Right.
So that tends to be, when people say that they're not political and they don't have opinions, they don't want to get involved, that tends to just be a conservative statement. So whatever that is. So,
I think people like today are figuring out more than ever the phrase oh, I don't follow politics, or I don't want to talk about politics, or whatever, is shorthand for I am comfortable and okay with everything that's going on right now. And I have no problems with the things happening right now. All right. Yeah. But yeah, folks, John's community was small. They were powerless. They were being hunted and killed. And John is writing to them saying, I know it's bad. I know it seems hopeless, but this isn't the end of the story. The Lamb will overcome. Justice will prevail. Babylon will fall. And folks, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know when things are going to get better. I don't know how long this darkness is going to last, but I do know that throughout history, every time empire has gotten this bad, people have resisted, people have held on, people have kept their humanity in the face of inhumanity, and we're already seeing it. In this wonderful age of the internet, we're already able to see just how many people are speaking out and how they are speaking out, and we're seeing it not just in this country, but all over the world. So that, every time I see a video of a protest or of people, of younger people even, like organizing and speaking out, and I mean, younger people know more about the inner workings of our politics than our parents, Keenan. They know what habeas corpus is. They know what due process is, because it's affecting them right now, and they have to know. They have to learn. And I'm seeing TikToks and social media posts of people like educating each other about checks and balances, and the term limit of a president and the term limits of a member of Congress or what have you. Right. All over the place, you see people holding on, people keeping their humanity. And yeah, folks, like I said, eventually Babylon always falls. So that's our message for today. Don't lose hope. Don't give in. Don't let them make you cruel. Don't normalize this. Remember that the people in power, the people who seem invincible right now, they're not. They're just the latest iteration of the same old beast, right? The same old Babylon. And history shows us how this story ends. The whore of Babylon falls. The beast goes into perdition. And the people who held on, who kept faith, who resisted, they're the ones who get to build something better in the ashes. So hold on, folks. We're gonna get through this. Yeah. But yeah, folks, this has been another episode of The Devil's Details. I've been Lester Ryan Clark. You can summon me on all the socials as Lester Ryan Clark.
And I've been Keenan Diaz, and you can invoke me on Letterboxd and Instagram as Howdy Keenan.
Yeah, find more of our shows and other really cool podcasts at truestory.fm, or you can feel free to drop us a message at Banana for Scale Mail, that's MAIL, @gmail.com. We got our Facebook listener group, Banana for Scale. It's a community for all of our shows, including this one. It's a private group. It's just a request to join, and we'll let you into the infernal family. If you want more, consider joining us at truestory.fm/join, and look for Banana for Scale. That's us. You get bonus episodes of all our shows, access to our Discord, and you get your episodes a week early and ad-free. Pretty cool. Just $5. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? We're not even asking for your souls. Just give us a 5 pentagram rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to our show. That and sharing the show by word of mouth or on social media is going to help our little podcast grow and find more cool people like you. All right, folks, until next week, love and hisses. Mwah.